Do you have a list of results and want to find the second highest record, or 8th highest, or 210th highest? There are 3 keywords you'll need to use. I'll show you what they are and how to use them in this video. In this example, we have a table of books. Let's say we wanted to find the second longest book based on the number of pages. I'll show you how to do this using a technique that works in many different SQL vendors, not just Postgres. First, we need to order the data so we know what we need to look for. We do this by adding an order by clause to the query. We run this query and see the list of books sorted from the highest number of pages to the lowest. Now we want to find the second highest row, which is the book called The Second World War. We only want to get one row, not all of the rows. We do this with the keyword limit. This allows us to specify how many rows to return. To use this, we add the word limit to the end of the query. We add limit 1, which means we only get one row. We run this and we can see a single row. However, it's the book called The Complete Aubrey Maturin Novels, which is the book with the most number of pages. This is the first row in our results. We wanted to get the second row. How can we do that? We use another keyword called offset. This lets us define how many rows to skip from the first row. In our example, we want to skip one row to get to the second row, so we add offset 1. Let's run this. We can see the result here, which is our second longest book, called The Second World War. What about getting the 8th longest book? We can simply change the offset value from 1 to 7. This will mean it skips over the first 7 rows and returns row 8. We can see the result here, which is the book called The Sword of Truth Boxed Set 1. This was our 8th longest book. We can verify this by running the earlier query that ordered the books, and we can see it here. What about the 210th longest book? We change the offset to 209 and run the query. We can see the book called A Robin McKinley Collection, Spindle's End. So the 3 keywords we use to find the nth highest row are order by, limit, and offset. We demonstrated this in Postgres. How does it work in different vendors? In MySQL, we use the limit and offset keywords as well. In Oracle and SQL Server, we use fetch first rows instead of the limit, and we use offset as well. It works in a similar way. You're probably wondering, how does this perform with large sets of data? It seemed okay for our example of a couple of thousand rows, but what about hundreds of thousands or millions? It would depend on your dataset. We're fetching a single row, but it's not based on the primary key, and the database will need to scan a lot of data. If this query is performing slowly, you can look into creating an index on the columns used in the order by, as this may help. One issue you may come across and not realize it is data missing or repeated when you select a single row like this. You'll want to watch this video next to find out why this happens and how to resolve it. Thanks for watching.